We begin here at 7 o'clock with breaking news. NBC News confirming that an arrest has been made in the shooting death of Charlie Kirk. During an interview with Fox News this morning, President Trump said, quote, "I think with a high degree of certainty we have him." This comes just hours after police released these images last night of the suspect. Charlie Kirk was assassinated while speaking Wednesday at Utah Valley University. Thanks for joining us here on Sunrise. I'm Drew Carney.
I'm Corey Johnson. The suspect has not been named, and law enforcement officials have yet to formally announce any arrest. While appearing on Fox News, President Donald Trump said it, quote, "I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody. Everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor. Everybody did a great job." President Trump said someone close to the suspect had seen the photos distributed by officials yesterday, then reached out to the father of that individual. Then, according to the president, that father convinced the suspect to go with them to a U.S. Marshal's office, where they were turned over to police. NBC News has also learned that the suspect is believed to be 22 years old and from Utah.
Meanwhile, state and federal officials, including the governor of Utah and FBI Director Kash Patel, are getting ready to hold a press conference in Utah with the latest on this morning's developments. This is a live look from where that press conference is being held. We're going to take it as soon as it begins, so keep it right here on KGW+.
And politicians on both sides of the aisle are calling for peace amid the recent escalation of political violence. Here's NBC's Peter Alexander with the latest.
This morning across the country, more fallout from the shocking assassination of Charlie Kirk, the conservative figure who wielded extraordinary influence in the Trump administration, despite being just 31 years old. The White House chief of staff reflecting on Kirk's importance.
Charlie was very much a part of this family and maybe the highest profile MAGA person outside of those that are working here.
Kirk was a leader of young Republicans with his Turning Point USA organization. Some in the MAGA world expressing anger.
The debt will be paid. It's as simple as that.
While the shooter's motive is still not known, the president and some in his circle continue to assign responsibility to what he calls the radical left.
We have a radical left group of lunatics out there, just absolute lunatics.
But also sharing this message to Kirk's supporters.
He was an advocate of nonviolence. That's the way I'd like to see people respond.
There has been an increase in political violence in recent years, with 2 assassination attempts against the president, the killing of a Democratic lawmaker and her husband in Minnesota, and the firebombing of Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro's residence. Shapiro calling for calm.
We need words of healing right now. We need actions that bring about healing right now.
That call echoed by some lawmakers on both sides of the aisle.
We're doing a stroke in the fire or throwing gasoline on it. We have to do better.
It really shows you who has character and who doesn't, who's a leader and who's not. Leaders need to be thoughtful and deliberate and look to take the temperature down.
That was Peter Alexander, and we'll continue to cover this story as we learn more details. You can follow the latest on air over on KGW.com or right here on our streaming app, KGW+.
We'll take a quick break from our headlines here for a forecast from Rod Hill.
Hey, well, our camera's all showing what we had yesterday, solid marine clouds. Yesterday, we did not see clearing in many spots, but today I think we will. This is the Chehalem Tasting Room live view out in Sherwood, 60 degrees under the clouds. And a similar scene over the Oregon Zoo up in the West Hills this morning, 58 degrees. It'll be another comfortable day and a dry day to be out and about working or playing on this Friday. Again, to the bus stop we go, which does show developing sunshine. 59 out the door. We'll start to look for some breaks around noon, 66. And then we have the sun later today. Kids get out of school to be 74 degrees. Here's Chris.
For that, we pick it back up in southwest Portland, where Portland Fire and Rescue is still kind of dealing with this early morning house fire on Beaverton-Hillsdale Highway. For perspective, this is just east of Shattuck Road. Westbound traffic not really getting through at this point. Eastbound traffic has been slowly getting through. They have opened up one more eastbound lane. So hopefully we're in the clearing stages here. No reports of any injuries or anything like that. So good news from that perspective. Back to the freeway drive, I-5 from Clark County zipping right along. We're at a speed limit commute on that side of town. We'll take you down to Tualatin. This is I-5 near the 205 interchange. That looks pretty good as well. Usually the case on Friday mornings, the volume a little bit lighter, and guys, we're still rolling along just fine on the freeways this morning.
All right, Chris, right now we want to get to Utah, where a press conference has just started with an update on Wednesday's assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th, in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with those surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger. Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed that roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact named Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique. Messages from the contact Tyler also mentioned that he had changed outfits. I know there has been speculation as well as to the writing on those casings, those bullet casings, and I believe we have that as well. And I will share that with you now. So the area north of Campus Drive Road where the suspect crossed over, you saw some of that in the video that we released last night, consists of a grassy area with trees on the edge of the UVU campus. Investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark-colored towel. The rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 .30-6 caliber bolt-action rifle. The rifle had a scope mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices, bulges, capital OWO, what's this?" ? Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist!" ! Catch! ! Up arrow symbol, right arrow and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow," and a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." We are indebted to law enforcement across the state who has worked seamlessly together, local law enforcement, state law enforcement, and our federal partners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We're grateful for everyone who worked together in such a short amount of time to find this person and to bring justice. I want to thank the public who has been so engaged, reviewing videos, helping us with sending in tips, and helping us get to this point. I want to thank the family members of Tyler Robinson who did the right thing in this case and were able to bring him into to law enforcement as well. I especially want to thank the family of Charlie Kirk, Erica, Charlie's parents, his children. I want us to be thinking of them as we bring justice in this case, they will be involved in that justice. We will be working very closely with them as we move through this process as well. This is a very sad day for our country, a terrible day for the state of Utah. But I'm grateful that at this moment we have an opportunity to bring closure to this very dark chapter in our nation's history. With that, I will now turn the microphone over to the Director of the FBI, Kash Patel.
Thank you, Governor. This is what happens when you let good cops be cops. The FBI and our partners are proud to stand here today together to bring justice to the family of Charlie Kirk and honor his memory. I want to express my deep gratitude to President Trump, the Vice President, and the entire White House who have been so incredibly supportive with both resources and just personally to the FBI as a team. They had our backs the entire way, and I just want to express my gratitude for giving us the resources we need to operate in this space to bring this sort of justice at this sort of speed. In 33 hours, we have made historic progress for Charlie. Governor Cox, our partnership has been absolutely incredible these last few days. Our partnership will endure. Your state and local partners, your sheriffs, your DPS community has been unbelievably impressive in the hardest of times. And a case like this cannot be solved, cannot be brought without partnering with your state and local authorities. The FBI has a certain role to play, and we will play that role, and we will lead out for the federal government. But Governor Cox, we are so grateful for your state partnership that led out on this investigation. A little bit of the timeline. Charlie was shot at 12:23 p.m. on Wednesday. The first FBI agents arrived on scene in 16 minutes with chiefs of police at 12:39 and secured the scene. The FBI immediately launched fixed-wing assets. We utilized these assets to transport personnel, specialty technicians, hostage rescue teams. We also utilize these assets to go back and forth from the East Coast and here in Utah to transport forensic evidence and other evidence that will be analyzed and is being analyzed at our FBI laboratories in Quantico and other laboratories, including the ATF. At my direction, the FBI released the first set of FBI photos of the suspect at 10 a.m. local time on 9/11. Then, shortly thereafter, the FBI reward of $100,000 was released at 10:45 a.m. local. Myself and Deputy Director Bongino arrived on the scene at approximately 5:30 p.m. on 9/11. The governor led a press conference last night at approximately 8 p.m., where at my direction, the FBI released a never-before-seen video of the suspect. We also released new images to the public of the suspect. And just last night, the suspect was taken into custody at 10 p.m. local time. In less than 36 hours, 33 to be precise, thanks to the full weight of the federal government and leading out with the partners here in the state of Utah and Governor Cox, the suspect was apprehended in a historic time period. And I want to highlight what Governor Cox said. This would not have been possible without you, the media, and you, the public. That's why we went so public, so fast, and we're so transparent, and we're committed to that transparency. The crime scene, just a little bit there. It is a large crime scene. State and local authorities, along with federal authorities, processed that crime scene quickly. And I even had the ability to walk through that crime scene and walk through the steps the suspect took to learn more about what was needed and what resources we needed to bear to create a full picture for the FBI and leadership back in Washington. Furthermore, thankfully to state and local partners, forensic evidence has been seized and continues to be garnered. Forensic evidence has already been evaluated at FBI laboratories in Quantico and state and local authorities here. We will continue to process evidence as we see it, as we collect it, and we will continue to deliver to Governor Cox and his team. Last night, we had a total of approximately 7,000 leads. As of this morning, thanks to your great work, we have over 11,000 leads that were called in to the FBI. And we are running out every single lead that we can. Every one of those leads will be run out. The arrest is a testament to the dedication of good law enforcement being great and partnerships in law enforcement, which I've tried to highlight as my tenure as the director of the FBI. There is no better relationship for law enforcement than the FBI to partner with state and local authorities, and you've seen it here in these last few days. The FBI Salt Lake field office, along with our offices in LA, Phoenix, Denver, San Antonio, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, our headquarters component in Quantico, all participate in the FBI. I want to express my deep gratitude to the employees of the FBI, the men and women, the evidence response team tacticians, the special operators, the agents, the support staff. You have done monumental work in historic time when the public, who had a right to demand such an expeditious solving of an investigation, the FBI answered that call diligently, critically important to our nation, and we delivered. And I'm proud to be their leader, and I'm proud to be the director of the FBI. This is very much an ongoing investigation, as the governor said, and we will continue to work with state and local authorities to develop the investigation, to provide them the evidence they need for their ongoing prosecutions, and we will be here to answer every call they absolutely have, as long as it takes, for as long as we need to find and apprehend whatever suspects were involved in this crime. Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
Thank you, and good morning. I would just like to take a few minutes as the sheriff to express my gratitude for everybody who has played a part in this investigation. As you know, it's been a vast, a complicated, and a very, very fast-paced investigation. You're looking at people standing up here who are running on, if they got an hour's sleep in the last couple of days, they're probably lucky. It has been very taxing. It has been so impressive, speaking on behalf of the local law enforcement, to see the cooperation that we've seen in this type of case. Across the state, sheriffs, chiefs, our state partners have stepped up and have come to the call on anything that we needed. Our county chiefs have been phenomenal. Our Utah County Attorney, Jeff Gray, who's standing up here with us, has been phenomenal in leading us through this investigation. I would like to thank the federal government for their resources, their assets. Our local team here, our FBI team, has been extraordinary in helping us work through this and bring this person to justice. Most of all, I would like to thank the public, and specifically, I would like to thank the public who turned to prayers and who turned to positiveness for us. I would like to thank them on behalf of the law enforcement community, because we needed those prayers. That's what we needed to get through this. We needed your support, and you gave it to us. We needed your patience, and you gave it to us. And I would like to thank you for the Kirk family, because that's what they need, is your support and your prayers, and that will get us through all of this. So thank you, everybody, for everybody that have stepped up. We've had such a phenomenal response to this. Thank you.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Friday morning. Before we get back to our local news headlines, we have Rodney Hill and your weekend forecast.
The big picture, still looking at that Sunday rain chance. I'll be a son of a gun if the rain chance wasn't this big just yesterday, and now it's kind of like
pocket size.
Pocket size, yeah. Here's a look at that system we're tracking for Sunday morning. You can see the band of clouds right here. Now, the timing of this hasn't changed. Still looks like the first wave of showery, scattered activity will come in tomorrow overnight and will be inland by the time you wake up Sunday morning. We're pretty quiet out there today. A little bit of rain out in far eastern Washington, and that's about it. Otherwise, we are dry. This is another start with solid marine clouds, coast and valley that did not clear in most areas yesterday. Today, it looks reasonable to assume that we will in fact get afternoon sun, including clearing expected for you folks at the beach. Right now, here are the clouds from Lincoln City, the Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera. 57 degrees is the number. And then solid clouds looking out over the valley from the Oregon Garden Resort camera out in Silverton. You can see all the clouds there. And it's foggy this morning over in Sun River. It will be, if you're going to Sun River or Bend area today, it will be dry. Last several days there have been a thunderstorm threat, but not today. It'll be dry. Cool morning with the fog, but sunshine is expected. Again, that was Sun River Resort. 58 degrees up in Kelso right now, 64 out in the Dalles. We have some sunshine out east, 52 in Bend, and 38 in Burns after being down right around freezing this morning. You're now starting to warm up. 1 o'clock today on Futurecast. You saw the low clouds clearing out, leaves us with a nice afternoon becoming into the evening. Could be some early valley fog tomorrow, but basically Saturday looks great. Sunshine to increasing clouds later in the day. Here's Sunday morning at 7. Here's a wave of showery activity. If this is correct, this would actually be some heavier rain showers pushing through the area. And as we go through the day, the scattered shower threat continues, including some storms in central and eastern areas. But notice kind of a void here in the valley. This is the European model rain potential map, and it has backed all the way down to less than 5/100ths of an inch for the valley. There are other models that still show we could get 0.2 of an inch of rain all total, but it looks like it's going to be showery precipitation, and that just makes it more difficult to pinpoint if we're going to get just a dab or some areas are going to get some decent rain. You can see 0.3 of an inch of rain in Madras, Prineville, and Bend. With the latest projection. This afternoon, we've got mostly 70s inland. This does show Madras and Pelton getting up to 80 degrees. That chance of a spotty shower or storm out over the Blues. 7-day numbers, 74 today, developing sun. The nice Saturday, 82. The showers on Sunday, 69. And a run of sunshine next week. All right, here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. We spent all morning looking for trouble in the freeways, and the good news is for you, can't find any. We're on really good shape. There's I-5 on the left-hand side of your screen there. That's the commute coming out of Clark County. Remember how bad it was yesterday? It's the opposite this morning. We are zipping right along over the interstate bridge, so no problems there. Door number 2 takes us to the Banfield. This is right out near where the 205 ramps come onto Interstate 84 westbound. And again, we're rolling along at pretty close to a speed limit clip there as well. In fact, your drive in from Troutdale about 15 minutes. So that's about as good as it gets on a Friday morning. Drew?
All right, thank you, Chris. Let's get back to one of our top local stories this morning. More kids in Southwest Washington could soon be home from school. More than 20,000 kids, as a matter of fact. That's because hundreds of Vancouver school district workers have voted in favor of a strike.
That's right. Classified staff like paraeducators and technology specialists voted overwhelmingly to hit the picket lines. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us from Vancouver Public Schools district offices. Now, Thomas, do we know exactly when that strike is set to begin?
Well, guys, we don't know when it's set to begin, although we know it's not going to be today. Instead, the two sides are going to continue to mediate in hopes of pushing toward a deal and maybe actually avoiding a strike altogether. But guys, bargaining's been going on for a long time up here in Vancouver, all the way since back in April. The union's actually been working without a contract after it expired at the end of August. There's a couple of big things they're looking for, namely higher pay and increased staffing levels. They tell me it's really difficult to retain staff, which means there's often just not enough paraeducators or other staff members in schools to adequately support kids.
We want, like, the employees, people who are experienced, who are skilled, who know those kids. Kids respond better to stability.
In a statement to families, Vancouver Public Schools says they remain hopeful that an agreement can be reached and that a strike will not be needed. They add they wish they had an agreement but are in a difficult position because school funding has not kept up with cost of running schools. There is a silver lining, though, for families and for the school system up here in Vancouver. Vancouver Public Schools tells us that they've received assurances from the union that they'd give them ample notice before a strike actually began. That not only helps the school district prepare for a strike, but also families prepare in case schools are closed. Guys.
All right, Thomas Schultz live for us this morning there with the latest in Vancouver. Coming up in our next half hour of Sunrise, a Clark County man is looking to get released from prison decades early after he was convicted of trying to hire people to kill his ex-wife. Also at 7:30, how a local nonprofit is tackling food insecurity by harvesting fresh fruit from people's backyards. You have extra fruit? They want it. More details when Sunrise continues after this.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
We're coming up on 7:29 on your Friday morning drive, and a look at various freeway cameras across the region. Our morning commute in much better shape than it was yesterday. Yesterday was awful, and today is completely the opposite. There's I-84 out near 82nd Avenue, traffic zipping right along there. I-5 from Clark County, remember that was lined up into Hazeldale yesterday this time. You were rolling along at a speed limit clip, and as we check out the drive times, the only one that's registering here right now of any slowing is the inbound Sunset. That's not bad, Rod. 15 minutes to get you in from Hillsborough.
Fixed the traffic from yesterday. Thank you, sir. All right. We have the same weather we had yesterday, and that is starting off with solid marine clouds at the coast and the valley. Our state capital down in Salem live for you, 60 degrees. Downtown Portland, exactly the same, cloudy and 60. This is a day that we believe we will, in fact, start to develop sunshine as early as the noon hour. Later today, mainly sunny and 74. Here's the 7-day. Your Saturday plans look great. We could have enough sun to get all the way to 82. Sunday showers are still expected, and that first wave of shower activity will come in Saturday overnight into the early morning hours of your Sunday.
All right, well, check this out. The brand Mitchell & Ness is releasing a limited amount of the Philadelphia Eagles varsity jacket worn by Princess Diana. She famously wore that jacket on the cover of People magazine back in 1994, but as you probably could have guessed, it's going to cost you a pretty penny. That jacket is running $400.
Actually, I thought you were going to say like $4,000.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I thought it would have been a lot more expensive than no, sorry, Rob.
I'm not giving you a nickel for that Eagles jacket.
Says the Chiefs fan over there.
If you're all new to the Sunrise Show, I'm going to quickly bring you up to speed. Chris and I grew up near Philadelphia, in Philadelphia, so big fans of the Eagles. Rod is a big Chiefs fan.
Grew up in Missouri.
Not happy with the way that Super Bowl turned out last year, but I actually remember when the Eagles played in London for a preseason game. This had to be back in like the late 80s, and I remember Princess Diana sitting up there in the press box with her Eagles gear on, cheering on the Birds. So it was kind of cool to see that jacket come back all these years later.
Really, like Princess Diana, but we all have our poor choices that we make in life, and apparently that was a fashion faux pas.
Rematch this weekend, by the way.
Oh, yes.
Right, the Chiefs.
At Arrowhead. Yeah.
All the more reason for me to be in a bad mood, because I don't think we're going to win. Here's a look at our Chinook Friends Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City. We have cloudy skies. So far, no reports of any mist or drizzle out there. 57 is the number. This is just like yesterday so far. Clouds over downtown Portland, 60 degrees, light winds. Okay, yesterday we stayed cloudy. Today, I think around noon, we start to look for sun breaks, and eventually this afternoon we will clear out and have sun. I have us warming to 74 degrees. I'll do it just this one time. Your introduction, Chris. Here he is, a proud Philadelphia Eagle fan, Chris McGinnis.
Wow. Drew, did you hear that?
No, soak it up, Chris. Soak it up.
Thank you, Rod. For perspective, we endured years of hearing how great the Chiefs were. So it's just thank you, Rod. All right, let's pick it up on a more serious note here in Southeast Portland right now. Portland police on the scene of a shooting investigation in Southeast Portland right now. 17th Avenue now blocked at McLaughlin Boulevard. We're working to get more details on this, but for now know that 17th blocked at McLaughlin. No access to or from 17th Avenue from McLaughlin Boulevard. The freeway drive is great. I mean, as bad as yesterday's commute was, today is the opposite. As we look at all of our freeway cameras here across the region, I don't see any real big trouble spots out there right now. And the drive times are in really good shape. You're tripping from Troutdale, 17 minutes. The drive in from Hillsborough, 16 minutes. That's pretty good for a Friday morning, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris. Well, a Clark County man convicted of trying to hire people to kill his ex-wife is trying to get out of prison decades early. Back in 2008, a judge sentenced Dino Constance to more than 50 years in prison for hiring 3 men to murder his now ex-wife. Yesterday, he went before the state's Clemency and Pardons Board, telling board members he didn't do anything wrong and should be released. His wife at the time ended up not being heard. She pleaded with the board to keep Constance locked up.
I do not want to spend the rest of my life living in fear that he's lurking around the corner waiting for me. And there's no way that his hatred for me and needing retribution has changed in the 18 years that he's been in prison.
Now, that board recommended Constance not be released. Washington Governor Bob Ferguson will have the final say, though.
The Clark County Sheriff's Office is looking for this man who's accused of stabbing his mother. Investigators say 30-year-old Miguel Bravo stabbed his mom early yesterday morning at the Oaks Mobile and RV Park in Woodland and then took off. She was taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Meanwhile, the Sheriff's Office says Bravo drove off in the car that's on your screen. It's a white 2005 Acura. They say they consider him armed and dangerous.
And police in Gresham are hoping to find the man who they believe burglarized City Hall last weekend. These photos were taken from a surveillance camera. Investigators say he broke into multiple offices early Saturday morning, targeting electronics and city credit cards. While the thief made off with some of those items, police say they found much of the stolen property a few blocks away. Now, authorities also confirmed no critical city systems or data were compromised.
A Portland family says they've resolved a racial incident with a local Catholic school that led to their son getting expelled. Karis and Mike Phillips say the Madeline School in Northeast Portland has apologized. There were lots of twists and turns with this story. You may remember when we covered it earlier this year. So the school expelled their son after he said another student called him a racial slur. The principal at the time called police on his parents when they were at the school to address the issue. That principal was later fired. The parents say they also asked for an apology from the Archdiocese of Portland, but say they're still waiting for that.
This morning, we're taking a look at why it's so difficult to build affordable housing here in Portland. One local architect says it comes down to city regulations and fees that end up making the process of building in Portland timely and expensive. Architect John Holmes runs Guna Collaborative in Northwest Portland. His focus right now is on affordable housing. He currently has 5 projects in the works, including one on 25th Avenue and Vaughn Street. Now, the city is currently reviewing it for a permit, but taped to this wall that you see right there inside John's firm are all the comments from the city on what they say needs to change in their plans for the affordable housing project. They include everything from problems with a street loading dock to bike parking and needing to move power lines.
Just our comment sheet back from the city. These are all the comments that came back. It's death by 1,000 cuts. So the complexity, the zoning code is that thick now. And when I started working, it was that thick. Every year, they add another 100 pages to it.
When complete, John estimates the affordable housing on 25th and Vaughn will cost about $15 million. Blair Best and our team at The Story has more on the steps the city says it's taking to streamline that building process. You can find the whole story on KGW+.
Firefighters in Gresham will soon have a new training tower thanks to some state and local funding.
That's right. Catherine Cook has more on how the new tower will help them train for anything.
In life, we're always looking for ways to learn and hopefully building each other up along the way. These folks in hard hats are doing both.
Cutting handrails.
While tearing something down.
And then we will start bringing the structure down from the top.
What you see, 4 stories of concrete, brick, and steel. What you don't see, countless stories from thousands of Gresham firefighters who trained here for 56 years. Times have changed since this thing went up.
In the 60s, just a simple tower was enough to train our people, but now this new tower will have 2 burn rooms. The first floor is going to simulate a residential house. Second floor is going to mimic an apartment, 2nd story.
Gresham Fire Captain Andrew Gayden is grateful for the new tower and how they're able to afford it. State lawmakers approved a $500,000 grant, and the city of Gresham matched it with $500,000 in ARPA funds.
Without their help, we couldn't get this project done, and we couldn't be moving forward and training our firefighters better.
Which brings us back to the hard hats. Their training has already begun. These workers are apprentices with the Oregon and South Idaho chapters of LIUNA. That stands for the Laborers International Union of North America. They're donating their time at this site while learning their trade.
And to be able to come out here and have live training, as well as be able to see that the fire department gets their newest and latest and greatest on their training facility, it's huge.
It's a win-win for everyone.
And everyone, it seems, wanted to join in. Sunstate heard about the team effort and donated their equipment. So did North Star, and the list goes on.
Every member that's up here is really enjoying the fact that they're part of this community that's giving back.
The very first story in a brand new chapter for East Multnomah County. Catherine Cook, KGW News.
By the way, construction on the new training tower is set to start next month, and if you want to learn more about the apprentice program, you can find that information, including an application, at OregonLaborers.com.
Well, starting next month, Multnomah County will close the Broadway Bridge for 6 months to do repairs. From October 11th to April 13th, crews will replace the deck surface on a section of the bridge. The county says the deck was installed almost 20 years ago and is nearing the end of its life. The work will cost almost $22 million to complete and will be a slow process for some very specific reasons.
And in order to do work on this section of the bridge, they have to do it in small sections at a time because they have to actually keep the bridge balanced for ships to come through. They still have to have all of the mechanical machinery able to open to river traffic.
And during the closure, the south sidewalk of the bridge will remain open for pedestrians and bicycles. The streetcar will also be rerouted.
Long project there, Rod. October to April. You've got a lot of weather to cover between now and then. But we should probably start with today, right?
Well, let's just get through today. Maybe the weekend. All right, here's our Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club camera out in Loa. Once again, we have cloudy skies coast to valley. Yesterday we didn't clear. Today we think we will. We have light winds. So far, no reports of mist or drizzle out there. 60 degrees is the number, and we're all about the same. 59 out in Hillsboro. It's 59 in Gresham, Camas. Up in Scappoose, it's 58. Good morning to you. Salem and Kaiser each at 59. Almsville and Albany also liking that number right now, 59. Ita is our KGW dog of the day on this Friday. Sweet looking dog. Use the email address, dogoftheday@kgw.com. Just attach your dog's photo and their name and send it to us, and your dog will be our dog of the day. That's Ita this morning. Hello. All right, here's a look at the weather map. Pretty dry today. First day in a while with no rain chance in Central Oregon. There may or may not be some spotty showers triggered out toward the blues, and that's it. Central Oregon should be nice. Sun River Resort's been reporting fog this morning, but sunshine is coming. Its temperatures will be in the 70s to about 80 up in Madras, with afternoon sun 70s up and down I-5, and also clearing expected at the coast today with temperatures in the 60s. I've got Portland getting up to 74 thanks to afternoon sun. Tomorrow still looks great. Could be some early fog, otherwise sun to increasing clouds later in the day, a high of 82. You wake up Sunday morning, there will be showers in the area. It doesn't look like it's going to be that much total rain. Could be less than 1/10 of an inch, but showers look to be likely scattered in the valley. Monday we're dry, and then we're going to run of sunny 80-degree weather, it looks like, on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's your update. Here's Chris.
Hey, Rod, thanks for that. We pick it back up in southeast Portland again. Portland police with an ongoing shooting investigation right now on southeast 17th Avenue near McLaughlin Boulevard. We're hearing that 17th Avenue at last check blocked at this point. We are working to get more details. We will bring them to you just as soon as we have them right here on Sunrise. Back to your freeway drive. As we've been mentioning, the freeways are generally in pretty good shape this morning. By the way, there is McLaughlin Boulevard at 17th Avenue in the upper left-hand part of your screen. It looks like McLaughlin unimpacted by this, and we'll wait to see if this bus is able to make that right turn onto southeast 17th. Don't see it moving just yet. I'll keep you posted. All right, let's get back to the highways. Interstate 84 westbound, a little busy coming in from 82nd Avenue, but not bad on that side of town. Door number 3 takes us down to Tualatin. The I-5 drive there is still in pretty good shape. Right now, you're tripping from Wilsonville, averaging a crisp, brisk 19 minutes at last check, guys.
All right, thank you, Chris.
Fresh food is really not just nutritious and good for you, it makes you happier.
A local nonprofit is doing its part to ease food insecurity in Portland by harvesting fresh fruit from people's backyards. Now you can get involved when Sunrise continues here in 2 minutes.
Hey, I'm Blair Best, and we hope you've been joining us for The Story each weeknight at 6:30. If you've got a story idea of your own, email us at thestory@kgw.com or call and leave us a voicemail, 503-226-5090. We'd love to hear from you. Have a great morning, and I'll see you tonight.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
Next up here on Sunrise, a local nonprofit that's making an effort to help with food insecurity. So it's called the Portland Fruit Tree Project. They harvest fruit from people's trees around town, even some people's backyards, and then they donate the fruit to local food pantries.
That's right. KGW's Jake Holter spoke to some of the people that are behind that mission.
Volunteers will offer their time to pick hundreds of pounds of fruit. In Thursday's case, pears.
We're having a fruitful day.
Thursday morning, a group of volunteers gathered in the backyard of a Portland home to pick pears from a tree.
Fresh food is really not just nutritious and good for you, it makes you happier, it connects you to your culture, it makes you happy in a way that a canned food doesn't or a processed food doesn't.
Heather Keisler-Forens is the executive director of the Portland Fruit Tree Project. She says the project was created around 20 years ago after a large amount of fruit were dropping and rotting in North and Northeast Portland.
You know, we see that we have a distribution problem with fruit and food in our country. We don't have a lack of food in our country, mostly true globally as well. So we are happy to be a small part of that distribution.
Last year, Keisler-Forens says they completed over 100 harvests, totaling more than 15,000 pounds of fruit. And this year is outpacing that.
We've worked really hard this year, as our pantry partners are telling us they're seeing 30 to 90% reductions in funding for fresh food, which of course is really important for health and mental health. So we have really hit the streets trying to figure out how to get as much fruit out of our urban area as we can.
The nonprofit does outreach on social media and at community events to find volunteers and the trees to harvest from, like Adam Bartling's, which the Portland Fruit Tree Project has picked from 3 years in a row now.
You watch this tree grow all season and all this fruity nutrition dangling from it, going to waste and sitting on the ground and rotting, and you know, it feels a lot better to watch it get taken away to someone who will hopefully use it.
The fruit is taken to food pantries like Lift Urban Portland.
Getting fresh fruit in bulk is really exciting because then we know that it's a really good quality product that we're able to give to our neighbors. So even though it's free food, we give high quality food.
Jake Holter, KGW News.
You were saying as you're walking in here to the studio, Rod, it's actually a great project, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people buy these homes that already had the fruit trees. They really have no intention of harvesting the fruit, and now they're being repurposed.
We have some friends that are moving to Germany for a year, and they have these pear trees. My wife and daughter went out to help them pack, and they came home with just, I don't know, bushels, I guess you would say, bushels and bushels of pears, in fact, is what they had.
Right.
So.
Yeah. You can never have too many pears. Pears are delicious.
Well, maybe there's a limit.
I feel like Rod has a story from his past where he did have too many pears, but we're not going to share.
We're not going to get into that right now. Here's a look at our satellite picture. This is Sunday's rainmaker or shower maker. It's looking increasingly scattered, your Sunday rain forecast, but it does appear the first wave of showers will come in tomorrow overnight and be here by first thing Sunday morning. This is pretty much a dry day in the Northwest inland. There are some showers. You can see them right there in the corner of Washington and not so much in Oregon. Could be some scattered showers pop over the Blues today, but that's it. Central Oregon, you'll be all dry. Here's the latest on the large wildfire map. If you are traveling this weekend, it's always a good idea what's going on. The smoke here in Oregon is pretty much laying down from all these fires and not producing a lot of smoke, so that's good news. The biggest collection of fires continues to be up in the northern third of Washington, and we're now in that time of the year where you would expect the number of new fire starts to start dwindling little by little, and then the fires we have will simply burn many of them until the October-November rains come and put them out, and then at that point we leave fire season behind, fingers crossed. Here are the air quality reports from Oregon DEQ and up into Washington this morning. The yellow, moderate air quality, and the green is good, and really nothing really looks that bad. It's all green good air quality up and down the I-5 corridor from Eugene up through Portland all the way up to Seattle. We have morning clouds again. Yesterday the clouds didn't clear. Today they should. Here's Chinook Winds Casino Resort in Lincoln City, 57 degrees. There's the Vancouver waterfront camera. The Springs at the waterfront, and we're looking at traffic on the interstate bridge there with cloudy skies over the Columbia, 60 degrees. Clouds up over the West Hills, the Oregon Zoo. It should be a comfortable day to be out and about, enjoying your day at the zoo. 58 degrees right now. The Dalles is showing some hazy sunshine to start the day. 64, not much wind. Gorge winds today supposed to be just west, 5 to 15. So I don't really have any weather-related issues this morning. You have sun east of the Cascades to start. You have clouds up and down Portland and Salem and over to Newport where it's 55. Futurecast right there shows the clouds clearing, so that'll be nice. We have a good day tomorrow, and then we have the first wave of showers coming in. This is Sunday morning at 7 a.m. You can see the scattered shower activity. Some of the showers this is showing could be heavy, some pretty good rain rates. 74 today. We think we eventually will get the sun. Tomorrow looks great, 82. The showery day on Sunday, 69. I now have us all dry on Monday, and we still are tracking some 80-degree temperatures next week. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. I want to pick it back up in Southeast Portland. Photojournalist Chad Dehart is live on the scene now. This is where we've got ongoing police activity and a report of a shooting on Southeast 17th and McLaughlin. A few minutes ago, we reported that 17th Avenue was blocked. You can see the traffic is reopened, but there still is a lot of activity here. We're going to hear more about this coming up in just a few minutes, but I just wanted to let you know that the road itself, 17th Avenue, has reopened through that stretch of Southeast Portland. Back to our freeway drive, Highway 26, there's the inbound climb up the hill from 217 to Sylvan. It's getting busier, as it should be, at this hour of our Friday morning commute, but we're still zipping right along as we are in the Banfield. That's Interstate 84 out near 82nd. That trip in from Troutdale at last check, about 20 minutes. And the drive north from Wilsonville, that's a speed limit clip as well, 20 minutes from Wilsonville Road to downtown. Corey?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, still to come on Sunrise, the Oregon Science Festival and many more weekend things to do when Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
I'm Tim Gordon. We have crossed the halfway point for the week, with the weekend fast approaching now. While we won't be seeing the same sunny and hot weather we had the past couple weeks, there's still a bunch of great local events happening to get out and about for. Starting with the Oregon Science Festival happening at OMSI on Saturday and Sunday. OMSI will cap off Science Week with a two-day celebration at the museum. You'll be able to check out workshops, sit in on lectures, go on tours, and more. Ticket prices range from free for members to $19 for adults at the door. Head over to OMSI's website for more details. And if you're looking for something brand new to check out, why not stop by the Tibet Day celebration at Pioneer Courthouse Square. The Northwest Tibetan Cultural Association will host the inaugural event on Saturday from 10 to 6. It'll feature traditional and contemporary Tibetan performances, authentic cuisine, local vendors, and more. This sounds great. To learn all about it, go to NWTCA's Facebook page. And for you theater nerds out there, this Saturday marks the first performance of Dracula at the Lakewood Center for the Arts in Lake Oswego. The play adapts the famous novel with a 21st century take. This is perfect for those of you looking to mark the start of the fall season, but the center recommends children younger than 12 sit this one out. Tickets range from $30 to $42. Check out the Lakewood Center's website for more. And finally, rapper and Portland native Aminé is bringing his Best Day Ever festival back to McMenamin's Edgefield this weekend. This is the festival's second year. This time around, you can expect performances from Aminé, obviously. Also, Thundercat, Smino, I should say, Zach Fox, and more. It's going to be a great show out there. For details and ticket prices, check out bestdayeverfest.com. And for more weekend inspiration, check out the 8 Things to Do article up each week on KGW.com.
Well, someone in the Eugene area is now $8.1 million richer. This after winning the August 16th Megabucks drawing. Now, that ticket was sold at Alvador Gas and Store in Lane County. That store gets an $81,000 bonus check for selling that winning ticket, and they also plan to expand their business using that money. The owners told the Oregon Lottery, quote, "It's something I never expected because nothing like this happens here. Our community is so excited for us." And coming up at 8, KGW Sunrise continues live on KGW Plus with the very latest on the arrest of the suspected shooter in this week's assassination of Charlie Kirk.
We're also covering several false threats at reported universities across the country, with several schools going into lockdown or canceling classes altogether. Again, the 8 o'clock hour of Sunrise is coming up in just 3 minutes, so keep it right here on KGW Plus.